I've been collecting sealed Pokemon product and cards for a few years now. Have quite a few cards. Just recently, I sold a bunch of singles to my local card shop, and I was able to convert that money into some Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. Just me personally, I like the Elite Trainer boxes more. I feel like the box art is better. It's a cheaper price point to get specific sets, and the booster boxes. I just feel like it's just a white canvas or black canvas, and just a small picture of whatever the set's about. So it just doesn't really appeal to me as much. But to each their own. Um, so I'm going to share. This is my first ever PSA submission. I just did a week and a half ago. Only 5 cards. I went through all my cards and made sure, centering, no dings, no surface issues, edge wear, things like that. Pretty much every time I pulled a card, I put into a sleeve, but, just factory white corners, even like white little specks, like I just didn't feel like it'd be worth submitting. So these are the 5 cards I got. Got the Reshiram SIR I pulled out of a White Flare booster bundle from the Pokemon Center. Uh, Pikachu V, Trainer Gallery from Lost Origin. I actually pulled that from a Cleaver V Star box from Walmart last year. Glaceon V Star from Crown Zenith. Um, I pulled this. I pulled a couple of these from Elite Trainer boxes a couple years ago now when they were still at Walmart. Um, Pikachu Secret Rare. I have several of these. This was the best card that I pulled from an Elite Trainer box. Best quality, I guess you could say. Uh, and then I pulled a couple of these regular Pikachu Galarian Gallery cards from Crown Zenith as well. And I submitted one because it was the best copy I had. Again, I made sure to check everything. If there was a white corner, a white speck, anything, centering, just, if I didn't think it would get a 10, I didn't want to submit it. So I found 5 cards from, about half of the cards I looked at in my collection. These were the 5. And I paid $50 per card, so I chose the Value Plus, and I sent them in last Thursday. They got there by Tuesday, and they're already in the grading process. I have a friend that submitted some cards about 2 months ago, and I don't even think he's at that stage yet, or he's in it as well. So it's just, I guess you just pay the extra if or really strongly feel like you'll get a 10. I would suggest, you know, doing the higher option. You don't have to spend 100 plus per card, but 50 per card. I know if at least one of these gets a 10, I'll make my money back. But anyways, so I'm starting to get into uh, collecting slabs. I have a few, uh, literally like less than 5, but when I go to card shows, I notice when I try to sell some of my singles, at least in my area, New England, Massachusetts, it's a lot of people don't really care to buy the singles, and I have a bunch of Illustrator rares, special illustration rares, from a lot of the Scarlet Violet era, a bunch of Trainer Gallery cards from Sword and Shield, and a lot of people just not interested in having a single copy. I feel like a lot of around my area, the tables, it's mainly slabs. So I'm going to start dabbling into slabs a little bit more. And, this was my first submission, and I went through a bunch of my other cards, and I started making a bulk submission pile. So I went through everything. I found so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cards that I have already prepped in penny sleeves and semi-rigids for submission. And I'm going to just do the cheapest option because I don't really care for grading these cards and getting them instantly. I just want to see what I'll get, and then I have some slabs to work with the next time I go to a show. Um, and I can trade around and do that kind of thing because I enjoy the vendor POV content. And when I go, like I said, I bring the singles and no one wants them, and then it's like, all right, well, I'm just spending money for some sealed product or a card I like, and it's just I feel like I'm not getting that full uh, experience when I'm at a card show, So I'm hoping maybe if I, get a handful of slabs, I can start maybe wheeling and dealing those a little bit, and it'll be a little bit more fun. So yeah, let's go through the cards that I have. So we're gonna go through the cards one by one. I got my tripod set up right in front of me, so we can look at the cards together. First is the Mega Charizard UPC promo. Um, Only thing I noticed with this one was the top to bottom kind of looked a little bit bottom heavy, but I wanted to crack open the both cards, so everything was clean on the back, no whitening or anything like that. So I used the card centering calculator, and even though it's a little bottom heavy, it met the uh, PSA 10 standards. So we're going to throw that in there in the submission. Next one, Oricorio promo. I was actually surprised to see this one was actually even better centering. Perfect centering. No issues with the back centering as well. No issues with whitening. Interestingly, I had a few of these Oricorios from Crown Zenith. So this was the best one I could find that I feel like could get a 10. And centering was good. No issues with the back either. A lot of these Crown Zenith cards had some sort of like white dot or something on the corners. I want to throw both of these in there because I feel like it'd be cool to kind of get like a sequential Oricorio combination, even though there's no relationship with the artists or anything like that. It's the same Pokemon, and yeah, like a sequential pairing would be kind of cool. So next we got all three Galarian bird promos from Crown Zenith. I got quite a few of these tins from Walmart back in the day. So I have quite a few copies of all three of these. A lot of them, as you know, how they were displayed in the Crown Zenith tins, they were not put in there very well. So a lot of white issues on the backs or the fronts with the corners. So these were the three best copies I could find, one of each. Centering was good on all three. Same with the backs. So yeah, it'd be cool to have these in like a sequential potential 10 scenario, but if that doesn't happen, at least maybe if I get one of them in a 10, that'd be kind of cool. Next, we got the Journey Together booster box topper promo. This one was perfectly centered, no issues. Again, on the back, no issues with whitening. Centering is good, all fit the PSA 10 parameter standards. So we're going to toss that one in there. The next two Silver Tempest rainbow cards, got the Vulpix and the Lugia. The Vulpix specifically, I know it's only like a $75, $80 card in a 10, but centering was perfect. Surprisingly, no whitening issues either. Just some dust and stuff on the semi-rigids. But this was a perfect one. This one, with the Lugia, bottom centering was a little bit off. I feel like it was just a little bottom heavy, sort of like the Mega Charizard, but according to the card centering calculator, it fit the PSA 10 centering standards. The only other thing I noticed, I don't know if the screen will pick it up, but like right here, you can see like kind of like a little abrasion or raise in the card stock. I don't know if that'll push it down to a 9, but I figure, if this is a lower submission, so I'm only going to be paying like $20 a card. So I figured why not just throw both rainbows in there? If one of them gets a 10, great. If, only or neither of them get a 10, oh well. This was a big one for me. I was debating submitting this one. It's the Mew V Alt Art from Fusion Strike. I wanted to submit this with the first submission that I made. The only problem with this card, centering and everything was perfect, was just if you look at the back right here, right on the top right, you can just see a white speck. And I think that's just from like the cutting process. It didn't seem like it was from the actual like cardware or anything like that. And I pulled this from like a Shaman V-Star box like a year ago. So I figured, what, I'll do it in this bulk submission. If it gets a 9, oh well, better than just sitting in my binder collecting dust, I guess you could say. Next, we got the Lilligant V Alt Art from Astral Radiance. Centering, everything was perfect. Surprisingly, no whitening issues on the back or anything. Again, I think I actually pulled this one from a card shop. I bought a few Astral Radiance packs. I really like that Machamp V, so I was trying to get that. Um, but yeah, I I know this is only like a $80 card in a PSA 10, but it fits the 10 parameters. If I feel confident enough to getting a 10 for it, I'm going to try submitting it. Maybe I'll keep it for a couple years. Maybe it'll be like $150 card by then. Next two I got EVV Pikachu V from Crown Zenith. Again, I know these are like $50 cards in PSA 10s. But what I've been getting into lately is like pairing cards and stuff like that, like the 4 gold cards from Crown Zenith, kind of like make a full art piece. If you look at these two cards, you can see like they both got the rainbow, and you pair them up right there. They got the same sort of windy effect around their bodies and the motions, and they're both moving towards each other. So that's a cool pair. And I figured, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to just grade these myself. Maybe they both come in like a sequential 10, and maybe someone would be interested in these. If not, and they both get 10s and no one wants them, I feel like that'd be just cool to have on my own. So, either way, it'd be just kind of cool to grade those and see what happens. Um, Pikachu V Max, again, this is from a Crown Zenith, one of those promo boxes or collection boxes. I opened a few of these, and I had a few of these. They're only like $1 card. Again, like $50 card in a PSA 10. But it just looked flawless, no issues, surprisingly, because it was coming from a collection box. Uh, the back centering's a little off from left to right, smidge more from top to bottom, but I know PSA really cares more about the front. Uh, so nothing with the front centering was off, no whitening or anything like that, corner dings. This, according to PSA 10 on the card centering parameters, this would match a PSA 10, even on the back. Um, so then we got a couple of Crown Zenith ETB promos. I opened probably like 15 ETBs a couple years ago from Walmart, just not thinking they would go out of stock ever. And I gave probably a dozen of these to my fiance's little brother because they were only like $5-10 at the time. And I was like, oh yeah, just take a few of these, whatever. Wish I didn't do that, but I hope he enjoys them. But yeah, so I got 2 copies for my binder that I feel like would be good PSA 10 candidates. The back on both of them, no corner dings, no whitening or anything like that. So, if one of them comes back at 10, great. If 2 of them come back at 10, I can keep one for my personal collection, and I can maybe try to trade one at a show. Last couple cards, Radiant Charizard. Again, I think I have like 7 of these. I gave a couple to my brother. I kept a couple. This was the best one I could find. Centering was great, top to bottom, left to right, no issues, no surface issues or anything like that. Back too, corners, no whitening. Centering was actually pretty good. So I think this is like $120 card in a 10. I think this would be one I'd like maybe keep for like another 6 months or something. I mean, by the 6 months from now is probably when I'm going to get the cards back. This might be like $150 PSA 10. So that might be cool to try and trade at a show. Last but not least, just a trainer gallery from Sword and Shield era, the Dine. I think this is Brilliant Stars. Again, centering just looked really good. No whitening, no white corners. I noticed the big thing with a lot of my cars is there's just like a white dot or something like that. And with a lot of these are like a lot of the cards that I have in my collection is like trainer galleries, $5 to $10 cards. PSA 10 value would be under $100. So just unless I thought it was like a flawless card, I didn't want to submit it like I would with the Mew V Alt Art from Fusion Strike. If it gets a 9 at the end of the day, that's still a pretty good grade considering the value of the card. But yeah, this is all the cards I got for my submission. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just wanted to share my process. I'm a new person when it comes to collecting slabs. So it'll just be fun to do a bulk submission. I got the 5 cards, probably going to come in the next month or two because I use the Value Plus and it's kind of moving through the stages pretty quick. This one I'm going to do the cheapest option, so it's going to probably be closer to that 6 month range, like I said. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm just getting new into grading cards and getting slabs, and I just feel like that'd be a cool new experience to add to going to card shows. Just kind of wheeling and dealing, trading, buying, get some more slabs that I like, things like that. Just have some more fun in the hobby. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about: is having fun, enjoying the time, going with friends, whatever you're doing. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.